You're tuned in to the Connection Podcast. We are a team of content creators and digital marketers connecting you each week to successful entrepreneurs and marketing experts that provide informational, inspirational, and motivational success stories in the world of digital marketing.
Yo, 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 we are back, episode number 14. We're here today with my guest, Marlene Garcia.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Marlene is just started a new business. Actually, it's a business venture for the last year or so, right?
Yes.
Brew-N-Krew?
Yes.
Welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, this is cool. We haven't, today's actually the first day we ever met, right?
Yes.
And we talked once on the phone, and I'm super excited that you picked up, and we started chatting about having you be a part of one of the events that I'm a part of, the Artichoke Festival.
Yeah,
right?
We're excited for that.
Awesome, but we're really excited because tomorrow's a really big event for you guys.
I know.
And so we thought we'd take some time to welcome you and bring you to the show, talk about what you've been up to with Brew-N-Krew. And gear some people up for tomorrow, huh?
A little correction before we continue on our live show. It was not the Artichoke Festival, it was the Steinbeck Brew.
No. That's where we first started talking because I first invited her to the Steinbeck Festival.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. No, to the Artichoke one.
What did I say? To the Artichoke Festival. Yeah, I'm getting confused here. You threw me off. Well,
we're back on track. We're back
on track. So, because again, the Steinbeck Brewfest wonderful event. There's a different gentleman by the name of Dwayne at Bottomed Up Brewery who invites all the brewers, and you have a great connection with them as well, right?
Yes, that's our go-to.
Let's start from the top. I really I want people to hear your story to start. Tell us how you got into the beer making process, and tell me about how Brew-N-Krew formed and how it started.
Okay. So Brew-N-Krew, the whole concept started in 2017. Me and my business partner were actually driving up and down the coast. Not the coast, but like Northern Cal, SoCal, just visiting different breweries because he loves beer. You know, that's his thing. And we were visiting different breweries, and we would invest in like all the different cans, you know, the 4-packs. We would come home with like stacks of cans. And then one day I just said, you know what, dude, why don't you just invest in your own beer? Why don't you just make your own beer? And he was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But it was just like, okay, yeah, let's do it, right? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to order an Amazon kit. Went on Amazon, ordered like a $162 brewing kit. Got there, like, I think within 2 days. And it sat in our garage for like 2 months. And I kept asking him, hey, when are you going to brew? When are you going to brew? What's going to happen? Like, are you going to do it? Like, you should do this, you should do that. And then one day I said, you know what? If you don't brew beer, I'm going to brew beer. And I'm going to do it, and it's going to be great. And I think that's what motivated him to be like, okay, yeah, like, let me do it before she does it, right? So he started brewing. He brewed his first 3 beers there. And then we had just a little tasting event at our house where we invited like our family and like our close friends. And it was kind of cool because, you know, it was like a legit beer tasting, but it was just our family. And you know, after that, we got feedback from our friends and family, and we said, oh, wow, like, they actually liked our beer. Like, they actually think this is, like, pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And then we just kind of ran with the idea. I think on his part, I thought it was going to end there. And I said, no, it's not ending here. We're going to keep going. And then we brewed, we tested the waters with everything, and we actually brewed 10 different beers, and that's when we had our first official Sonidero brew tasting, and which happened last summer. We invited, it was open to the public. Awesome. And that's where we showcased our 10 beers.
Awesome.
That's just kind of how it started.
That's how it started, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently I follow you guys on Instagram, and I recently seen you guys were at another beer tasting event down in Southern California recently, right?
Yeah.
So you're really reaching out, and you guys are really going strong right now.
Yeah, we got to be part of the San Diego Film Festival this year.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
that was awesome. It was great. And then we were in LA last weekend, so we're just trying to have people try our beer and just give us feedback and let us know if they like it, what they like, what they don't like, and yeah.
So what really sparks me and my, what draws me to you guys and to Brew-N-Krew is, and again, I grew up in Salinas. I'm from Salinas, and I really love how you really embracing that and putting that into the brand of what you're making. You're a woman entrepreneur right now. You're, you really. You really embrace that, that Salinas culture and that Mexican culture as well, and you apply that to your beers, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Tell us about that.
So, both of us born and raised in East Salinas. We said that we never wanted to change that, because we're Salinas made. Salinas made as the good, the bad. We were made in Salinas, although, we parted ways when we went to different universities, whatever, we came back. And our focus was, when we started brewing beer, we were like, let's add our cultura to this, We're Mexican, let's embrace that. Let's make beer with stuff that we grew up with.
Right.
Like, for instance, like Jamaica, chocolate Ibarra, like stuff that we grew up with. We were like, yeah, let's add it. Plus, the strawberry, las fresas, they're all around Salinas. So we started implementing fresas. And even the names, like growing up, you knew you were cleaning if you were bumping Spanish cumbias, So we were like, yeah, let's implement that kind of stuff to our entire business concept, the labels, the beer, and the beer names. So, yeah. And yeah, we don't want to forget where we came from. So, and I mean, that's kind of cool. And I feel like a lot of people really do, they gravitate to that. They were like, oh, they're the ones doing the Mexican beers and that's so cool. And we've heard that a lot. You're doing something different. You're bringing the Mexican cultura to the beer, to a brewery, Right. So, yeah.
That's really credible, and like I said, that's what's drawing me to you and to your brand and to you guys too, because that's, you don't hear that often, that you don't the culture of and again, I don't like to use the word the race culture, but the Hispanic culture. I mean, again, I'm Mexican too, we know where we came from, right?
Yeah.
and that's just so inspiring, because there's moments where somebody, the stereotype is we're there, that might not happen. That side of an area of town or whatever it may be may have those dreams can be met, those goals can be met. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can
aspire
if you want to dream it, if you can do it. Anything is possible, no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of said it, the good, bad, and ugly, a little bit of Salinas. But it doesn't matter. Salinas all around is beautiful,
Yeah.
And there's just, it's different cultures in different cities and different places, and we love that. I love that, and I congratulate you for moving forward. And now,
Thank you.
In the future here, it's coming. You already got the keys, and you guys have already been working on it and all that.
Yes.
Tell me more about where the venture is headed,
So, yes, we did get our keys. We are actually located, or will be located, at 155 Main Street. So right next to Maya and next to Villa Azteca, the new Mexican restaurant that opened. So those will be our neighbors. So right now we're just waiting for the city to give us the green light, and we can start building and hoping to open this December.
That's awesome.
Yeah, having a big fiesta there.
I'm gonna be there. I want to be there. I want to be a part of it. That's super awesome. Tell me what inspired you to make craft beers, or to home brew. Did anybody else inspire you to do it? Or is this kind of a self thing?
I think
you said you were traveling a little bit. You were up and down the coast,
we were traveling up and down, and like you mentioned earlier, you don't really see, our raza making beer,
Right, nope, yep.
And you don't really see women making beer.
Nope.
So it actually, I learned how to brew beer because of my business partner's schedule changed. So it was more like, okay, if we want to keep this going, you're going to have to learn.
Yeah,
so I said, yeah, I'm up for it. I'll learn. So then I started learning, and I think if if he were here, he would be like, you're the one that doesn't really, you're not really careful. You're like carefree because you just want to try different things. I'm like, well, yeah, let's try different things. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to come up with a great beer. I mean, that's just like my thing. So, it wasn't really like, okay, like I'm in love with beer. I love beer, because if you really know me, you know that beer is not my first go-to, you know? But I fell in love with beer when I started learning how to make beer.
Yes.
I fell in love with like the whole concept, you know, and I appreciate it a lot more. And I'm still learning. And it was just kind of like, oh, like I have to learn, so I have to learn. Let's just do it. And now I love it. Like, it's like, honestly, like something that helps me de-stress, and it keeps my mind busy, and it's fun. It's nice to have something to do and to, you know, create something that people enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I see it's an art form, huh?
yeah,
It's art?
it is. It's like, the way I see it is, when people ask me like, oh, well, how do you do it? How are you doing it? Like, what's the whole, how do you know what to do? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you like I'm great at this. I'm still learning. And, but like I always tell people, it's like your mom making a caldo, you know, like she's making a caldo, and she's just, you know, you just have to be careful with, okay, like what time it has to turn off, what's the temperature.
Right.
But everything else is just kind of like, you just kind of
Throw it in there, throw it in there, and wait till it cooks up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little more salt, little less salt next time.
I know. Yeah. And
Right?
see, that's the thing about it. Like, we're adding things at different times, just to see how the flavor changes. So, and it does change. You'd be surprised.
That's amazing.
Like,
You know, and I'm sorry I have to ask this question, just because I was so overwhelmed with the diversity of beers, the diversity of people, just the beer fest last year, the Steinbeck Brew Fest last year, and it was an amazing time. And again, were you guys pouring there last year?
no, we weren't.
Okay.
So we actually we did attend though. So we got to try everyone's beer.
Cool.
But no, we were late on the whole.
No worries.
It was just like the start of us. We were just kind of like, oh, are we ready for this? We don't know.
Yeah, the reason I brought that up was because I have an interesting story with one of our guys, our employees here, showed up to the event, and he asked me, you know, what's your favorite beer so far? And he was with a female friend, and he laughed at me. They both laughed at me because I said, you know, there's this fruity one over, you know, this strawberry one over here in the corner, and I tried, and this just hit me because you mentioned a strawberry, you know, the fresas that, you know, that you're from the right here in our backyard, right, growing in our backyard, and pretty much feeding the world with these berries, right, right from Salinas here, and so I said, wow, there's this beer with this strawberry flavor. I've never had anything like that before, you know? And it sounds to me like you have something very similar, you know? And I'm excited to try it because I haven't tried it yet. But tell me how, you know, again, a little bit about your flavors, and because you started to dabble in it a little bit with the chocolate, you know, and whatnot. So beer with the Mexican twist, or the Mexican culture infused into your beers. Share with our guest, our listeners, about those.
Okay, so like I said earlier, we wanted to implement our cultura into it, into the beers that we made, and so everything that we use, it's real fruit, real chocolate, and we cut everything. We grade the chocolate by hand. You know, even the vanilla bean, like we're peeling it. The habaneros, like habaneros that we add. The mango también lo pelamos and everything. We cut it. The piña también. The passion fruit. That's awesome. Passion fruit, all that, we peel it, you know, and obviously it's not just peel and throw it in there. No, there's a process to that. We have to sanitize where we're peeling it, whatever we're using to peel it or to cut it. And even afterwards, you have to sanitize the fruit, and that sanitation doesn't affect the beer. So it's just to clean it up. But we use all natural flavors. Nice. And that's because we're like, we have to stick to that. That's that's what makes our beer. I think that's what makes us. I think the
Awesome.
Brew-N-Krew. That's us.
Does your family now? Do they not buy beer? Do they just come to you?
You know, it's funny because my sister actually in particular, she, you know, when we first started, she's like, hey, I need a beer in like 2 weeks. Okay. Like, can you make it? And I'm like, no. Do you know how long it takes to make a beer? And I think like, if you don't understand it, you know, you don't get it. You're like, oh, she doesn't want to make me beer.
Yeah.
But if I sit down and tell you like the process and stuff, I've told her before, and she looks at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, if you knew, like, you would understand, you know. But no, my family's super supportive. Like, they're, you know, every event we have, they try to go, and you know, they're always sending us good vibes, like, you know, you're gonna do good. And they always ask me like, oh, what beer are you pouring? Oh, that one's gonna be good, everyone's gonna like that one. And yeah, so they've tried all our beer.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Maybe, and speaking of events and the Steinbeck Brew Fest, I should have said it right at the beginning of the show, because I should have reminded everybody that watch all the way to the end, because at the end we've got I totally forgot. I just wanted to talk. I was just so excited. I kept keeping you waiting here. We're a little bit behind on the show, but we have some tickets here. That one's going to be for me. But I told everybody that we'll be giving away one pair of tickets, but we got two. You know,
nice.
So hopefully we can give those away at the end of the show. Here we'll select some names that from some people that were excited and commented on the Instagram. And if there's anybody right there watching, drop your tag right here, because I'm seeing the live feed right here on the comments. Leave a comment and put your name below. And
yes, you don't want to miss our beer.
I've been excited. Alejandro, we've been excited about this event all year for a while now, huh?
Very excited.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. I would be like, oh, I want to go try the beer of the new brewery that's opening. Like, that's what we want. We want people to come out and try our beer. Tell us what you think of our beer. Like, let us know if you like it, if you don't like it. We want the feedback. And like I said, we're not perfect. We're learning, and we're just trying to perfect it, you know?
Yep. Yeah, that's super awesome. I have a couple more questions here. I also want to ask you some questions about marketing, because a lot of people that are watching and listening to the show, they are really intrigued, or they want to listen to the message of marketing. How does a small business, large business, you know, how do they grow? How do they manage their social media profiles, their Instagram, their whatnot? And a lot of these things are probably very new to you, not the social media aspect, but doing it for business, right? Yeah. So we'll dabble into that just a little tiny bit here. But before we dive into the marketing end, some of the questions we wanted to ask you was, we've gone on your website, we've been following you on Instagram, which actually we have. Alejandro, can you switch to my computer? We got your Instagram profile over here. You have some awesome labels and some really cool. You get some really cool designs going, and canning.
Oh my God, it looks so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
so that one, the crowler.
Yeah. So tell us about your labels. I'm sure they're diving right into the Mexican culture. But you got some really cool looks going here.
Thank you.
Here's some bottles that are samples, but it looks like some things that are coming in the future, huh?
No, we've actually already poured those. Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us about them.
All our names, all our beer names have a story to them.
Uh-huh.
All of them. We actually joked around having the story behind the label, because they're funny stories. All of the names have a story behind them. Yes. And you know, we wanted to stick to the whole Mexican thing, and they're all kind of jokes, you know, like la otra. Uh-huh. Ladies, this was for like a friend, you know, like, oh, la otra, like, that's the other chick, even though you're not the other chick, you're just like the other chick, you know.
The side chick.
The side chick, there you go.
Alejandro, hit number 9. Give us channel 9 on there, so the guests, the viewers, can see a bigger shot of it. There we go.
And this one was actually brewed for the paint and sip we had at the at the PAL Center, and it was around Valentine's Day. So we're like, oh, baby, you know.
Yeah.
But awesome. Not baby, you know. So
I dig it. It looks like some of the hops and whatnot, your ingredients right in here.
So
and the mango that you talked about,
the mango
and
papaya. Yes.
it's awesome. And pretty much anything with mango, I love it.
I stay looking at that mango papaya shot and just admiring because I love both fruits. I always carry them in my kitchen.
Oh, really?
And I was like, man, I can't wait. I hope they have this at the event so I can sip it.
No, it won't be there.
No
You're
worries.
gonna have to wait.
Go to my special order a month ahead.
So this is locura right here. This is the one that has mango, tamarindo, and habaneros.
Color looks nice. Color looks right.
Yeah, and sometimes it's kind of hard. I guess I just need like a little circle so I can get the picture of the actual beer color.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Taking pictures sometimes is a little bit weird because the color is a whole different color.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was kind of it.
Moving into the future, just well, actually, let's you tell me about your cinnamon flavored your cereal flavored beers. Yeah.
It was actually that one's baby.
Baby.
That's baby. That's
okay.
the beer.
Okay.
Baby. It actually, in that. When we had it here at the Pow Center, people were like, "Oh wow, you can taste the flavor, right?" Okay, so then we took the same keg to San Diego, to the San Diego Film Festival, and people were going crazy over that one. They're like, "Whoa, this is it! This tastes exactly like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. How did you do that?" Like, can we take some home? Like, how can we get your beer? Like, this is the beer. San Diego was like crazy for that one. Yeah,
nice.
so
I love it. And off camera, you said something about a Lucky Charms kind of flavor.
Oh yeah, so we did an experimental beer, which was literally like 2 gallons, where we just added Lucky Charms to the beer, and yeah, it did. It's funny because it does taste like that, But it was just something that I was like, okay, I'm not too sure of how it's going to taste.
Yeah.
That was my second cereal beer, so I was like, I'm just gonna do this for myself.
Yeah, just a little, just to try, just to experiment.
Yeah, and see, we have videos and we have the color of it too, but it gets so crazy sometimes that you just forget. I mean, they're there. It'll just have to be a throwback Thursday post.
Moving into the future, are you gonna always continue to just make your own, brew your own? Maybe one day have these big old huge barrels such as like a wine room and just continue to brew up your own beer? Or I guess I'm asking the wrong question. I guess what I'm asking is, as you grow into your store, obviously you hope to serve everybody and serve the world.
Oh yes, of course. Oh yeah. Right now we're using a pilot system. It's a 15-gallon pilot system, and we're using kettles, so big ollas.
Nice.
But no, we're looking into getting a 7 to 10 BBL system, which will brew a lot, which will be enough for us to start with.
Nice.
But no, we're not thinking of the big barrels that fill up an entire room, but enough to get us going. Nice.
Yeah. And you're obviously again, that's all part of the bottling and kegging system is all happening yourself, huh?
So yeah, right now all the bottles we're doing ourselves by hand.
Wow.
So it's like a time crunch when you're bottling. It's like, hurry up.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the grind. That's the real grind, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is cool. And in the future, on top of having your store, do you happen to have plans to actually sell your product in stores or like Zeph's One Stops, things like that?
So what we were thinking about, based on, depending on how the whole permitting thing goes, what we wanted to do was if the restaurants downtown were open to it, we actually wanted to give them a keg and be like, oh, hey, like, can you preview this keg? So people like around Salinas would be like, hey, this is what's coming, go try the Brew-N-Krew beer. It's at, I don't know, Dubbers or like Portobello's or whatever.
Yeah.
But once we open, we are thinking of just sticking to selling our beer in-house, just because we want people to come to Salinas to try our beer. We want to bring business to Salinas.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want people to come to Salinas not just because they're passing by. Right. We want people to come and visit and stay and check out the cool stuff that's happening here.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's perfect. That's really great. Let's dive a little bit into the marketing sense of it.
Cool.
What has been what has been the most difficult part of building your business online, offline, or just sharing the word of your product?
The hardest part?
Yeah, you know, because it's a good friend of ours, just also a marketer for another beer company. As I said, we had just this like our third beer show.
Yeah.
You know, they really reverse engineered everything, where they just put out tons of marketing. You know, tons of marketing, no product yet, tons of marketing, and now it's just exploded. You know, now it's here and everybody wants it, right?
Yeah.
And it's being poured all over Monterey now, right? You know, in reverse, you started. You know, here you're in the seat making something. Now you're excited about something. You got Brew-N-Krew.
Yeah.
Now you got to label, brand yourself, and get it out there. You know, so how is that that mountain been to climb? How has it been? You know, climbing that mountain.
I don't know if I understand your question.
I understand. Yeah. So when you first started your Instagram page, here's another way to say it. When you first started your Instagram page and you said, "Here we go, we have 0 followers." Now you've got a couple thousand here, right?
Yeah.
You know, so and I'm imagining that those are all people really excited about your product, have tasted your product. You know, so how has that challenge been for you? You know.
So yeah, when we started, we just started saying like, "Hey, it's coming, right?" And then we just started posting our beer. You know, we just started posting our beer, and then I think our posts were bottles and the first bottles that we brewed. But honestly, I think our following came from people who tried our beer, or people who knew us, or know us, and I think people who just like the whole concept, like, oh wow, this is different. Like, we haven't seen a craft beer bottle in Spanish, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, what intrigued me to you guys.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, just telling people what we were about. I think that's, I don't know. I wouldn't say that was a challenge. I think it was fairly easy.
Yeah.
It was fairly easy to just, I don't know, get people to. Oh, I don't know that, or
agree.
we just started following people too. We were like,
right.
Oh, let's follow people. Maybe they'll follow back. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that worked. And then the DMs started coming like, hey, when can we get beer? I think that's the most challenging part of the whole social media thing.
Yeah.
And like replying to direct messages or replying to comments. Well, now that's the most. And I mean, I wish we had all the beer to hand out, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, that's what separates you. Again, that's because again you're considered in that category of a home brew, right?
Yeah.
You're a home brewer. I mean, and you're on the ground. You're doing it. You're doing it yourself. Not moving into that commercial world yet. And you're saying it. You know, where you're going to continue to do it yourself. You're going to continue to make your art and craft your. Like you said, the caldo, right?
The caldo. Yeah. And it's funny because when we do bottle, we'll put it out there like, hey, we're bottling, and we have we have like 25 bottles of this, 25 bottles of that, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they literally like sell out not sell out, but people reserve their beer. Like, oh, can I have it? Can I try that one? Can I try that one? Can I try that one?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now we're done. We didn't even get to keep one for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we want to do. We just want to give the beer out so you can try it and I don't know, just post it. Yeah. Post it so we can then post it on our page and so.
Awesome. I actually haven't even been. You have a website and all that, and
yes.
you've again, you're doing a fantastic job with your labeling.
Thank you.
With the names, the graphic design work.
Thank you.
Tell everybody how important that has been to you to draw people right back to you to see it on your Instagram.
So our graphic designer, he's actually a local as well.
Awesome.
We met in college, and when we started this whole thing, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to pay somebody I don't know to do this. Like, I know he went to school for this. I've seen his work. Let's just ask him if he would be willing to do it. And he was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do it. And yeah, he just kind of ran with the idea. And, I said, this is the name. Make it good,
Yeah.
And he did. And I'm impressed every time, I send him something. he just makes the vision come to life, and that's pretty cool because I think it's important to have that connection. Be able to like communicate with the people you're working with and say like, hey, just be open about it. Like, hey, I didn't like this. Can you change that? And them being understanding and them knowing like where you want to go, what you're building, and your vision. And I think he's been with us since the beginning, so he knows what we're about and what we want to see in our labels, what we don't want to see. So, and it's nice when he asks like, okay, so what's your vision? Yeah. Tell me, and then I'll just make it happen. And I love that. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
This is East Salinas people making things happen, guys.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super great. And tell everybody how excited you guys are about it's not me. I'm just help with the marketing aspect of it. But the Steinbeck Home Brew Fest. Tell everybody how excited you are.
We're excited. We are very excited. We hope a lot of people come and try our beer. Yeah. We just want people to try it. That's what we want. And so we're hoping to have a big turnout because, like I said, if people want to go visit the new thing, the new spot, like the new restaurant that opened, now the new brewery that's coming. Yeah. I feel like it was another brewery opening or another winery or something, another restaurant, I'd be like, oh, like, let's go check it out. Mm-hmm. Let's go see what they're all about. Yeah. Let's go meet them, because we're going to be there. It's going to be me and him, like, pouring there. Awesome. So... And, we're regular people. We're not, like, weird. We're kind of awkward sometimes. We're like, oh, are they staring at us? Do they want to talk to us or not? You're
100% normal to me because I'm pretty weird myself.
Yeah, so, we're open to any questions. And, just try our beer. Let us know what you think. And hopefully it's good. Yeah. I like it. I made it. So...
I'm sorry, tell me again what you're pouring.
That was the next question.
That was the next question. What are you pouring?
Yeah, what beers are you pouring?
Tomorrow we're pouring Locura. So Locura is one of the beers that we've brewed from the beginning. Uh-huh. That's the one with mango, habanero, and tamarindo. Nice. Okay, that's our take on a New England IPA. Uh-huh. We are also pouring, oh my gosh, I forgot. Bate que Bate de Vainilla Latte. So that one is a coffee milk stout. Awesome. So the coffee we actually got from Rustic Co. from Gonzalez. We added that to our beer, and it also has vanilla bean in it. Awesome. And then we're also pouring La Chica Fresa. That one's the cream ale with strawberries. But see, going back to you saying like, oh, the fruity beers, right? Yeah. A lot of people think because it has fruit, it's going to be fruity, it's going to be sweet. And no, some beer, yes, but most of the beer, it's just the flavoring. Uh-huh. And like what we want to do is wanted to really enhance the flavor. So I'm hoping that if you come and try our beer, you'll be like, okay, like I taste the strawberry or I taste the mango habanero or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then our last beer is Duvalin, the very, very newest beer. No one's tried it before, so tomorrow if you come out, that's gonna be the first time we pour it.
We hope that
so be there early.
Yeah, be there early. We hope that there's more people there this year than there was last year at their new location at the Rodeo grounds. Oh yeah, and gives a little more space for the event. Yeah. It's going to be right on the right behind the marketing. It's on the left hand side when you walk. The VIP area, the big grass area right there, the cool area. Yes, so a lot of space, some live bands, music. Everybody will be together in one little hub, as opposed to in the past years it's been kind of two separate rooms, two separate locations. And
has it always been like that?
I believe so. I've only really been involved this last year and this year, so this is my second year now. We had about 600 people there last year, and we hope that we have more this year.
It was good last year. I liked it.
There was a handful of brewers, especially in the Steinbeck room last year, that was running out pretty early because home brewing, you only make so much, right? Uh-huh. But do you anticipate to? Do we have to be early to taste your beer? Do you know?
I'm hoping.
You hope you run out, though.
We're taking 20 gallons, so
it's good enough. Good enough for some
good
taste.
Enough, yeah,
that's awesome. Let's talk about this giveaway. Should we bounce to the giveaway, Alejandro? You got anything else to add to that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Thinking.
Not yet. Are you ready to do this giveaway?
Yes, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Let's
Give away.
How about let's
time.
give away? Let's give away one set right now, and
Okay.
then we'll give another. We'll give another one away right
We go
before.
live to computer.
We have a couple of names on our YouTube.
Database.
YouTube, we've got Rustic Roasting Co. Who's on?
Yeah.
I think it's Ais Rodriguez. I am sorry if I said your name wrong. IICE Rodriguez and Arturo. They're interested in some tickets, so I'm gonna make sure I get your guys' names right here on our raffle. If I can find it, I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time doing this. Let's see. I lost it. Here
So
it is.
meanwhile, so you mentioned 2 flavors that you were pouring, but you're pouring a couple more, or just
No, that
For
was
tomorrow?
4. So 4 different beers,
tomorrow?
4 different styles of
Nice.
beers. Yeah,
That sounds
and
fun.
water.
and water.
Yeah, that's important. That
Yes,
is
it
actually like
is.
very key.
Yeah, I know. We actually tapped water last weekend, and it was the best idea ever
Yeah.
because it's important, and there's people that want to rinse their cups, or there's people that want it like legit water.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that option.
Yeah, you need to kind of like
Yeah.
just like
Plus, yeah, rinsing it out because, I had a person give me their cup, and it was, I could tell it was like either a porter or a stout.
oh, you don't want to
And
mix
then
that.
they wanted an IPA, and I was like, oh, that's not going to taste good. So I have to
Yeah.
rinse it out. So
Yeah, that will change everything.
yes, that would change it. Yeah. That's
Oh.
how we wanted it.
And out of all the 4 that you're pouring tomorrow, which one are you personally more excited? about?
I'm really excited for the Walin. That's that. I mean, Locura, that one's great already.
But to be honest, I'm really excited about Duvalin.
But I'm excited for the Walin because we tried it 2 days ago, and wow. And it's funny because I was driving, it was after school, and I had a Duvalin because I took some to my students,
Wait a minute, students.
Wait, the beer,
Wait.
some beers.
No, Duvalin, the actual candy.
Okay.
I took the candies to my students, and on my way out I had one, and then I got home,
Oh.
and I was like, okay, let's try it now, let's see. And then we waited to it was already carbonated, or no, before we carbonated, then we tried it. I was like, whoa, like what the heck, like this actually tastes like the Walin. Am I crazy, or is it just the aftertaste of the candy I just had, right? So then whatever, I was just like, okay, it was probably the candy. So whatever, I went on with my day, ate whatever, and then I was like, okay, like the next morning I said, okay, let's try it again, fresh palate, nothing, I haven't had anything to eat, so let's try it now. And wow,
Awesome. And
I was like, this is it, this is the money maker. I'm just kidding.
So you wash your Duvalin with the Duvalin beer.
Hey, that you
That's
might
what's
get
up.
a Duvalin tomorrow with your beer.
I'm so looking forward. I'm gonna be there bright and early.
I just we didn't actually get to share with everybody because we're really excited about what you're doing with Brew-N-Krew. But just for the quick minute, because I'm adding a couple more names to our list. Share. You just said I brought them to my students. Brew-N-Krew is right now currently your part-time, your artistic venture, right?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what again, you have another job.
Yes. So I am a 3rd grade teacher at Virginia Rock Barden. That is my full-time job, my career.
Nice. That's your career.
My career. And
Yeah.
then after work, I am a mom. I am, I guess, the marketing chair for our our company, a brewer, and yeah, that's me.
The grind doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like it's funny because I walk through the office and I have the 3 ladies that work up there, and I'm like, okay, I'm off now. It's time to be a mom, be this and that. I always joke around like that with them, but
That's
Many roles.
it's nice. Yeah, many roles, but it's really nice because I have a huge support system, at home, at work,
Nice.
and just our following. Like, I think everyone's cheering for us to succeed, and It's nice to have that support. It's nice to have, people tell you, like people that don't even know you, like, oh, you guys are doing good stuff, like great things are gonna happen. And
we just met today. I know good things are coming to you, which is why I was also going to ask you if this pans out for you. And I mean, Brew-N-Krew just all of a sudden does super well. Do you want to continue teaching, or is this your dream and passion to just continue to do this, or teaching? You'll always stay a teacher.
I think
I'm putting you on the spot.
No, I think
I'm putting you on the spot, huh?
Pick a job. Pick a job.
Pick a job. You only got one.
I always tell my students, because they're always like, oh, you're the teacher, you know everything. But I'm like, no, I'm a student too. Like I go to school, I'm doing my well, I already have my master's degree, but I'm working on my doctorate degree.
Oh, awesome.
So I was telling them, and guess what? Like I'm not just here, teaching you guys. I have to go to trainings to do certain things. And so I always tell them, like, hey, like I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I play different roles, and that's but I think I'll always be a teacher and I'll always be a student. That's just something, and obviously a mom, because they're never
never going away.
But I think I think for the moment, because the business is rising, and I think it's going to blow up at one point. I'm hoping it does. I think I would have to put my teaching aside. But here's a but. So part of this whole business thing, we always wanted to get back to our community.
Right.
So that's something that, we're never going to stop.
Yep.
We're always going to help out our community, and,
Love it.
even we'll have like our donation box like next to wherever we pour, and whatever we get, we donate. And I've been lucky enough to have had donations where we were able to donate to the PAL Center.
Nice.
To my specific school site. We were able to give donations for during Thanksgiving, buying presents during Christmas, and just that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
So we always want to do that.
That's that.
In whatever way we can help, even promoting, saying something, or we just don't want to forget, because those kids are our future. And I always tell my students, you are the future. Like, if you think I have it all, I was in your shoes once, and guess what? You're going to be in my shoes next.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love hearing that story from you, because again, we just met today for the first time, and I actually just put a message out there today on our Facebook that again, I'm huge about community. This community feeds me, and I guess I just want to continue to feed it back. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, of course, you have to take care of your And my students are like, they're from Salinas. That's where I came from. That's where I was in your shoes. So we're actually working on a little this scholarship that we want to do, or like a little I call it a little scholarship, but it's more of a nonprofit thing that we're working on to give back to East Salinas students.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that here later. Let's give away our first set of tickets.
Cool.
And then let's bring up my screen, Alejandro. Oops, let me get rid of that one over here. And now here we go. We've got the wheel. We've got our names. We've got some names all the way down this list over here of people on Facebook and Instagram.
Wow, there's a lot of names.
There is a few names.
I can't believe everybody participated.
I can't believe it either.
Wow.
Maybe it was because I did a sponsored ad on this one, and we just have a few names. Any names that you can notice up there?
There's no way this is rigged.
This is not rigged.
Not like the elections.
Oh wait. This is gonna be a quick random select. If you see your name up there and you're watching this now, or if you're not watching, I will.
I see Locura up there, and I see our graphic designer up there.
Nice. Does he have tickets? He don't have no tickets yet. Probably not, huh?
Probably
not. That's why he's. If anybody's listening, the ticket sales are a couple bucks cheaper online right now.
Oh,
I think
really?
until midnight. Or should double confirm that.
Okay,
We're gonna look on
yeah.
the website real quick.
Get your
But,
tickets now.
If you get your
Yes,
tickets
get
right
'em
now,
now.
buy them right now. It's gonna be so much
Cheaper.
cheaper, a couple bucks cheaper, even if you're going with the group.
That's
So
good.
we'll
It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I'll click spin the wheel. I
wait,
think.
drum roll.
Do we have a drum roll? Oh, you know, I think. Let's see.
Make sure you mute the audio.
Yeah, I gotta mute the audio because I've got the video playing over here on the backside. So let me see if I mute myself, the live stream. Let me see. I gotta mute myself here, mute ourselves here, and now let's see. Okay, now let's play this audio here.
Here we
We're
go.
live, so this is imperfect, right? Okay, here we go. Our first 2 tickets, but it's a pair of tickets going to. Yeah, that's a little loud.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who's gonna win?
Oh no
Oh,
way!
wow.
Wait, you know who that is, or you know who that
Yes.
is?
Oh my
Yes,
god!
No, is that the same one that
yes.
get? Oh,
Yes. Oh, this is
This
not
meant it
rigged.
was
No, it's
meant
not
to-
rigged.
It's
Huh?
rigged. It's rigged.
It's rigged. I didn't
What
do
did you
nothing.
do, Alex?
Click it back.
Wow.
Click. No, this is not rigged. Don't make me have to do this again. So.
No,
Wait
it
a
was
minute.
meant to be.
Let's
It
tell
was
them the
meant to
story.
Huh?
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell them the story.
So-
Story.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's gonna feel rigged, but that's why we're giving away 2 sets.
Yes.
I'll let
Yeah.
you introduce the person, but this person is it's a friend of Alejandro's. It sounds like, right?
Yeah.
This is an Instagram profile.
Veronica Vargas.
We
Really
have
cool. Congratulations, Vero.
congratulations, Vero. Thank you for signing up, and
Yeah.
you have won two tickets right here. Look,
Yay.
this one, the 179 and 180. And if I give you 2 other numbers, it's all good. They're just entries to the show right here.
They're seated.
You have to stop at Brew-N-Krew first, though.
You gotta stop at Brew-N-Krew right here.
Yes.
I will be there before anybody else is probably there. And when the line is so I could be a will call. We could you could email me at alex@mag1media or send us a DM. I've got your tickets right here. So let me screenshot that one just so that way we can make sure. But the funny part about that is we did a test a couple times on this wheel before the show, and
to make sure it was working.
to
live.
make sure it was working, right?
Yeah.
And we hit the same
We
name,
had the same name.
the same name twice, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So it feels a little weird.
It feels like it was destiny.
Destiny.
Yes.
Okay. We have one more set. I told everybody I only had 1 set,
Now,
so
this is when you know if it's really rigged or not.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
if we get
Yeah.
the same name the 3rd time, then
then we're in trouble. Okay, so we got 2 sets here. Do we want to
we
do it
go.
now,
yeah.
or do we want to ask you another question?
It's up
Nah,
to
let's
you.
do it now.
You want to
Yeah,
just do it now?
yeah.
We'll keep
Hot.
it rolling, okay? Because
Everybody's hot.
we're it's passing the 5 o'clock hour. We all got to go home to our kids, right? Okay, here we go. Let me see. Where's my mouse at?
Hold up. Let me go to computer.
Okay, we're actually here. Look it. I'm gonna remove
you
her.
can remove her.
Yeah, you got to remove her.
Removed.
Nice.
So it's not gonna come up no more.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Unbelievable.
That was. This is Facebook and Instagram people,
Here
so
we
you're all
go.
kind of
Who
mixed
will
in.
Win? Who will win?
Olivia Lopez. That's a Facebook name.
Olivia Lopez.
Olivia Lopez, you just won 2 tickets to the event tomorrow. Let me see.
That's a cool name. I was like Olivia. Congratulations
Congratulations.
You just won.
Congrats.
on our first live ever giveaway.
Hey, that's a pretty good. We're gonna have to do this again. Thanks. Christine got it.
Christine came up with that
Christine
plan.
hooked us up. So this could be a friend. I put, just so everybody knows, I put your friends' names in there, and I put Olivia actually made the comment. Here's her profile right here. Olivia Lopez. This is the profile right here. Hi, Olivia Lopez won. You are a winner. If this is your profile, sorry to put you on blast like that. Let me take you off. You're our winner, Olivia. So again, you can email me. Send us a direct message right there on Mag1 Media, and we'll have your tickets. I'll have your tickets tomorrow at the door. You're good. Don't walk in. Don't pay for them. I definitely have you covered 100%, Olivia, for you and your guests.
And make sure to stop by Brew-N-Krew, Cruise and Brews first. Brew-N-Krew.
Brew-N-Krew. Brew-N-Krew. That's your first stop.
Brew-N-Krew.
stop.
Make sure you stop by. Say hello to Marlene.
Yes.
And this has been awesome. I'm glad you came.
Thank
and met with us
you.
today. And
Yeah.
is there anything that you'd like to add or just share with anybody? Tell them to visit your website. Tell them to like you on Instagram. Make sure you
follow us on Instagram. We're on Facebook too, Brew-N-Krew Salinas. And yeah, we're on our website, brew-n.com.
It has hyphens in between.
Yes, it does have
hyphens. Okay.
hyphens.
I saw a couple of sweatshirts and T-shirts.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys have merch lining up?
Yes, we do. We have sweaters. I should have brought some to give away. See?
Next time.
Next time.
Next time.
Now you have to invite me back.
What did we forget, Alejandro? You guys had a wonderful conversation as I was trying to scramble and get this show rolling. And I was like, man, I should have just threw him in the seat right here. He's a great question asker. He says he's not, but he is.
I'm not. Not on the spot.
No.
On the spot.
On the spot, huh?
Oh,
Was it nerve-wracking?
No.
Ready?
Actually, before I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say? But now it's
Simple, huh?
now we can be here all day.
Yeah, we can be here all day, right? We are live on YouTube, but again, it feels like we're just talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there it is. That's going to be the end of our show for today.
Cool.
Thank you again so much for having us, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah,
Make
awesome.
sure you stop by, everyone.
Awesome. I'm excited to go get some taste right now, tomorrow. That's it. That's all the show for today. Make sure you smash that subscribe button right below. You can also listen to this podcast on iTunes, on Spotify. Make sure you're subscribing to us there. Just give a little search, The Connection Podcast, and there we are. Until next week, thanks for viewing in. Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cue the logo, Alejandro.